So yeah, the roller, as you can move it backwards and forwards. Ideally, you want to mount your roller back as far as you can. So then the angle of approach for your drivetrain is at as shallow an angle as possible. Ideally, for minimum resistance between the 2 points, you'd mount that halfway between the rear hub and your bottom bracket axle here. So in this dimension, this configuration, you've got 1620. So you'd mount it in the middle of that. So you'd be looking at like 810 to if you wanted to have the most efficient configuration and the least resistance running through your roller. So we'll rough that in there. The issue with that is right here on this curve, that's where your bum's supposed to go. So having the drivetrain under tension coming right in, right through your crutch region, even with a chain guard, wouldn't be ideal. So unfortunately we can't put that exactly where we want it, but this will get more refined once we have the 3D model of the seat in place. So we'll pop it back where we had it to start with there. So that's mainly everything roughed in for the side view. So we'll exit that one, and then we'll move on to the front view sketch here. So you can see, open this one up. So you can see here we've got our cross member here, which is that 70mm member. These points here, so this line here measures up with this point here, which if we just turn into 3D, pierces directly with the drive chain. So because they're all linked, as we change one thing, so if we went back, change the roller placement, this line here would move. So this shows that this is your drive chain and this is your return chain here, and they're well clear of our 70mm cross member there. So that's always a good one here. Another one you got to work out is your kingpin inclination angle. Essentially, you can choose whatever angle you want, but you have to make sure you've got enough clearance for your kingpin and wheel setup. So again, this is our very initial rough sketches. All of this would have to get drawn out correctly with the correct dimensioned hub and tyre width put in, so we make sure we're not going to have any interference between spokes and their bottom edge here. This design here is obviously a kingpin's over top of the cross member, so the kingpin axle, the axle will come through here, and then the kingpin will drop down through there. Always important is keeping your kingpin inclination angle along your tyre contact area. So here we've got 77 degrees. I've used it on a lot of other trikes before with a good amount of success. So this is what we're working with currently. So 77. We'll put in our mid axle line. So that's this one here. That one. So that's your 210, which is your half of your 420. So that's your axle height, where that would be. So you can see here there's plenty of room to have your hub, which comes out around 32mm, I think, with your backing plate, a custom made boss, threaded boss here, and then essentially it'll be a bolt running through your kingpin here with a nylock or a double lock, two nuts locked together to keep that all in place for your steering. Obviously there's many more things to keep in mind for your steering, Ackerman angles, which I'll get into later on down the track in another video. But for this one, your kingpin inclination angles, you're probably your most important one, so you can start your rough out. Always you got to keep in mind is where you're gonna be able to place your linkages for different things. So as you can see, if I turn this onto the side, this member here, this is our main side member. So you can see that there, turns that it's going to intersect at whatever dimension we end up. So the inside of the bucket seat for our guys is 360. So this means 180 for the inside edge of the bucket seat. So essentially, to make sure we're going to have enough room, and then we'll quickly just dimension out an oval over here. And 75. Drag this edge here, intersect there, and just like that. So that's where our main rail is going to head back parallel for the seat, and then down the track further. Once we get it all lined up, so we'll just do a quick top view, use some reference. So once we're past the shoulders, before the shoulders of the seat, so around this point here, the side rails will run parallel, and then around here they'll start to taper back towards the rear hub. So it'll be a two-piece main member out of that large diameter oval tubing, the 70 by 35. So it'll run back and then back to the rear dropouts. So obviously all the tubes we do are all carbon fibre. It's one thing we do is just all carbon fibre for the trikes, steering components, steering arms, fairing, anything we can. We always try to make it as light as possible and utilise the the high-tech materials. Which one of those is carbon fibre? So having those two rails, our main rails down the side, will create quite a stiff structure to start with, and then also by the time we put in our 3D molded bucket seat of this style profile, once we get that in there as well, and that'll all get wrapped onto these side rails, that'll stiffen up the whole trike as well, and the seat will also get attached to the main drive tube, which will in turn also get wrapped to the cross member. So everything gets tied in together. It's all structural. It makes it a little bit awkward for situations for different size riders. If you got riders with a lot of rider height variance, you can run into a little bit of trouble, whereby shorter riders have to use a lot of padding because we don't have an adjustable style seat system. But luckily for us and our core team, most of us are between sort of 5'11" and 6'3", so it's relatively small window, so we can work that out not too bad. So that'll do for now. Definitely once we get this into a 3D model, we'll run you through that one as well, show you all our design features, what we're trying, why we're trying it, and down the track you'll get to see the progression from this right up into the 3D design, and then we'll start our manufacturing videos as well, a few time-lapse videos of jigging up making the frame